So, sup y'all, it's not your boy, also here. This is the follow-up to the controversy, right? I like this guy's thumbnails. They're very. He knows how to make thumbnails, all right. Like they're very. I mean, he doesn't know how to make titles though. Look at his title. This is like a mouthful. I'm not gonna read this. Fuck that. Like, look at this nonsense. I gotta leave you a like though. You gotta make good videos. I think I'm gonna actually. Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna sub. Yeah. Let's get into it.
What's up, everyone? It's Indemion, and I've decided to give the BG3 controversy some time to simmer, but I think it's time.
The speed is wrong. 1.295.
And to address some interesting revelations that have come to light. So in this video, I'll be covering all the new information surrounding this discussion, but first I want to start by talking about, well, actually myself, which is kind of weird. My first Baldur's Gate 3 video has gone viral, I guess you could say, and it ended up driving a ton of discussion surrounding the controversy. And eventually the video got referenced by IGN in their...
Is that the video made by, I think his name is Dustin?
Video that covers the same.
Let me confirm this. Come on.
Baldur's Gate 3 is...
Yes, it is. Okay. I thought this video was pretty good. I wonder.
Topic. Destin Legary, who works at IGN, even shouted me out in the description section, but I was quickly removed after people noticed my name. I would...
That's suspicious.
Assume this was done because my channel and my way of thinking isn't exactly welcomed in the various echo chambers within the...
Oh, is that some political bullshit, though? If that's like for like, oh, because he has like different political opinions. Ow, come on, grow up. Who cares? Like, who cares what his political opinions are if that is the problem? Who the fuck gives a shit? It's 2023. Nobody's opinions matter. Nobody's political opinion matter. Like, come on.
I don't find it insulting that I was removed either, since unfortunately when it comes to channels like my own...
I just want to repeat that. Nobody's political opinion matter. Everyone has been made irrelevant.
Saying the quiet part out loud constantly tends to piss off the people who don't want those opinions vocalized. So I was likely discredited because I am what the gaming industry hates, basically. This won't dissuade me or change how I do things.
A gamer? I am a gamer. We hate you.
I'll likely never get an invitation to the Game Awards either, which is totally fine by me. After all, someone needs to keep that industry accountable for how predatory and broken it is. So if it has to be anyone, it might as well as be me, is what I'm saying. But it's pretty cool knowing that my voice, whether people like it or not, is reaching the upper echelons of gaming media, so thank you.
Yeah.
Alright, now, let's...
You know, of course, it's always nice to have like different opinions and from different people. Like, hell yeah, like... and yeah, I do see that as a good thing. Dude, even if it's like... like, sometimes I like to actually... I don't like those guys, by the way. But sometimes I do like to see, like, political opinions of people who, like, don't like. From political sides that I hate. Just to see, like, what their vision is. And you would be surprised, like, how much patience I have to just sit down and see what they have to say about things. It's a pretty cool exercise to do sometimes.
Let's get on to the news, and I want to use this chance to extend a helping hand. So hopefully people who hate me actually watch long enough to see that I'm actually trying to help. Obviously, this entire controversy has stirred the gaming industry into a frenzy, with devs saying fans are wrong for wanting more, and fans becoming more frustrated that the industry that they love refuses to meet their demands. So let's start with this article from Rock Paper Shotgun titled, Baldur's Gate 3 is Metacritic's highest rated PC game ever, but devs are rejecting cheap comparisons. RPS summarizes the events that led to this moment and how the disparity between consumers and developers are growing with every new release. They then cite one developer named Gary J. King, who I actually think brings up some good points.
Lead designer, national insecurities. Freelance trailer maker, narrative words and design guy, murder, mystery man, tired, AC.
Points he started by saying, and I quote, "None of these developers are defending the status quo of AAA."
Wait, is he from Larian or what? I don't understand.
And I quote, "None of these developers are defending the status quo of AAA here. They're contextualizing the status quo, explaining how things came to be this way and why Baldur's Gate 3 is an anomaly in the space. They're saying that if we want more BG3s, something needs to change. This idea of lowering our expectations is key to this. The AAA industry is increasingly moving towards greater scopes and bigger budgets, ballooning dev times. A single failure can sink a studio, years of people's lives and millions of dollars burned away. More risk equals less risk taking."
Dude, I just want fun games. It's not rocket science. We just want fun games. It's like you don't have to. You don't need to have to make like this TED talk about like, oh no. The only thing we want is fun games. That's it. That's literally all there is to it. We don't want like 20 Baldur's Gate. We don't want 0 Baldur's Gate. We just want fun. That's it. I swear. We don't want to conquer the world. I swear, I am not lying. We just want fun. It's not hard to understand.
The industry conditions that birthed Larian and let them hone their craft over several games before they made Baldur's Gate 3 no longer exist. That's why it's unreasonable to expect this to become the new standard. We literally want the same thing as you. If IGN had read the discussion being had in good faith, they'd have known all of this. Instead...
Hold on, I'm gonna watch the IGN video because it seems to come into context.
Internet by storm. Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah, like this was something that I was like, this is why I haven't watched this video fully. I watched it like at half and I stopped. It's because I couldn't understand the context, because I guess the context was lost to me because this video is the contest. So let's watch this.
Is taking the internet by storm. At its peak, a whopping 800,000 plus concurrent players were playing this weekend, catapulting it to the number 8 most played of all time spot. The gaming community has sung its praises, and it's incredibly refreshing to play a feature-complete game of this caliber on day one. But AAA game developers want you to know that this is rockstar level nonsense for scope, that it's foolhardy to set expectations higher, and Baldur's Gate 3 should not be used as a raised standard to RPGs going forward.
Yeah, you can really tell that he watched the other guy's video while making this one. But that's good. That's good. You should do your research. Like if it's a little copied, I don't care, so long as it's like for the sake of making a better video. Yeah.
Why was
That's
the first
journalism.
response to defend the current state of AAA gaming as opposed to saying, hey, maybe we can learn a thing or two from Baldur's Gate 3 and make our game better for our customers?
Yeah.
This all kicked off way back on July 8th, a lifetime ago by internet standards, I know, when a writer and BAFTA nominee, Xavier Nelson, took to Twitter to express concerns about Baldur's Gate 3. Namely, that fans would use Baldur's Gate 3 to apply criticism.
Bro, I'm growing spines. See that? What is wrong with me, dude? What the hell is wrong with me? I'm 31, like I shouldn't be dealing with that. That's so stupid.
For a raised standard to RPGs going forward. My rebuttal is,
Like I also got
why
one here.
shouldn't customers have raised standards? Taking it a step further, why shouldn't some AAA developers raise their own standards? Are we really going to pretend that consumers shouldn't be a little upset right now and hoping for an improvement in the industry going forward?
So annoying.
Rockstar just announced a $50 conversion of the original Red Dead Redemption for the PlayStation 4 and
Red Dead, this like redemption, more like Red Dead disappointment.
Switch that has no mention of a 4K update, no mention of 60 FPS, and no mention of multiplayer support. The game
Trash.
came out 13 years ago, and the Xbox port does everything
Weak.
they're offering, and then some for free with your 360 copy. Go buy a brand new copy of the Game of the Year edition on Amazon right now for $30, and you're good to go. Star Wars Jedi Survivor, when released on PC, had furious fans citing numerous problems getting the game to run, frequent crashes, and similar problems on the PlayStation 5 and Xbox. EA apologized and is still working to fix the issues.
Oh.
Destiny 2 just released the State of the Game blog saying, amongst other things, that they don't have the resources to release new ritual armor every season. But that...
You know, I don't know what's worse, when they apologize and don't do anything about it, or when they don't even apologize it. Like I don't know what's worse, honestly.
Same studio manages to create new armor sets in the shop for up to $20 a pop without fail every season.
Are you trolling me?
Actually has several characters.
$20?
$20 each, and just released their first season that had a patch that was...
Dude, that's the price of a
so
game.
Thought out that the developers had to have an emergency live stream to apologize, and have since begun working to revert those changes.
We don't plan on doing a patch like this ever again.
Okay, you need a more comparable RPG example of why fans are heralding Baldur's Gate 3 as a breath of fresh air? Look no further than Mass Effect Andromeda, which was widely panned.
Terrible.
Sorry, my face is tired from dealing with everything.
Or
Sorry, my face is tired from dealing with everything. I am a human being, as you can clearly tell.
Cyberpunk 2077 that made promises about last
Ay,
gen
ay, ay.
consoles that it couldn't keep. It took CDPR almost a year to get that all sorted out. I'll make this as clear as possible to contextualize how fans are feeling. It feels like money has become more important than the core experience for fans. That's why Elden Ring, Baldur's Gate 3, and even The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom are being widely celebrated. So what is up with the excuses? A game came along that is amazing, is selling well, is being praised.
Oh yeah, Tears of Kingdom also got like some backlash from devs, didn't it? That's so stupid.
Developers and fans alike.
my
The
gosh.
response is, well, we can't do that. Well, sweet. If that doesn't get me hyped for Mass Effect 4, I don't know what will. Xavier's tweet was well-intentioned, and he went on to add a lot of important...
Was it?
But I think it misses the perspective of the consumer. We don't know anything about game design or how hard it is.
I do.
We just know that Destiny is deleting hundreds of dollars worth of expansions when they feel like it, that Diablo is constantly reminding us to buy skins in their store, and most PC ports have been abysmal lately.
What the hell? Look at her. Oh my gosh. Oh no.
Remember, that tweet was made nearly a month before Baldur's Gate 3 blew up, and it was still contentious with fans speaking up about their frustrations, and developers chiming in to say what felt like game development is hard,
No.
you don't get it, be quiet. Baldur's Gate 3 is a game from a large, passionate studio that refuses to add microtransactions.
So tone deaf,
gave
dude.
players early access
Blue
so
lady.
they could address any problems that arose before launch, and it's taking Steam.
Ooh, I actually saw Asfen playing in this dungeon. It was crazy. So Asfen was like playing on his live stream and shit, and he found like a well, and he threw a coin in the well, but the coin didn't make sploosh as it should have done, because it's supposed to make a splash or sploosh sound. So Aspen was like, huh, and so he went down on the well, and lo and behold, there was like a spider cave dungeon, like hidden underneath the well. And then when he got to the end of the dungeon, there was like a hole with like a spider web, and he fell on the spider web, and the spider web tore, and then he fell on this cave. it was surreal. Like it's one of those like crazy gaming moments where like I don't know, like the devs just make like extremely hidden content that is very neat and hard to access. Like I like shit like that, you know. That's like really fascinating design to me. Like it makes me remember. It reminds me of Mega Man X on like how you had to go out of your way to find the hidden armor pieces, which was really dope. People should make more stuff like that.
So they could address any problems that arose before launch, and it's taking Steam charts by storm. So why should fans not use that as a gold standard of how to do it right? And why would a AAA studio not look at it and say, hey, maybe cramming microtransactions into our game isn't a good look? When
Macro transactions, $20, like, dude, $20 a DLC is not a microtransaction. It's a macro transaction. A microtransaction is a $1 purchase of a horse armor, not a $20 for horse armor.
Aspect 4 comes out,
that looks like
I
shit.
see a $20 Liara skin, and I hope that its performance is tested across all platforms before release.
Oh my gosh, is that Amy from Poor Guy? Nah,
Am I
no,
wrong for not wanting microtransactions and a stable video game at launch? Credit where credit's due now. There have been some really good examples of AAA games like the Dead Space remake and the Resident Evil 4 remake come to mind, both of which have been massive successes for EA and Capcom. Vampire Survivors came along and took the internet by storm last year. Do I need to bring up Elden Ring again?
No.
That tweet blew up in the development sphere, and frankly,
Okay, so it looks like
just ridiculous.
It looks like he's very much siding with our boy, Endymion. Oh yeah, I remember. Endymion, that's the name of the Yu-Gi-Oh card that has like 300 words and everyone hates it. I actually used to play that deck. And the reason why that deck was so good against like everyone was because nobody would read my cards. So nobody would know that, like, for example, Endymion, the boss monster, like he floats on death. And when he dies, you can search for any spell card from your deck into your hand, which is broken. Because I would use it to get stuff like Monster Reborn or like those spell cards that you can only have like one of, and I would go broke. Like, oh my gosh, that card was awesome. But like, to be honest, like, I mean, by the time I summoned him, like it was already done, because like I would summon him, and then I would summon. Never mind. Let's get back to the video. I'm sidetracking. Yeah. Okay, I'll just say it very quickly. I would summon him, Amorphage Greed, which is like the dragon, like I think he's level 6, and he stops you from special summoning. And I would summon the I forgot the name of the card, but it's a spellcaster. He has 28 attack points. He's a pendulum monster as well, and he's very similar. But I think he counters monsters, and it even counters spell cards. So I would have like 2 counters on the field, and my opponent could not special summon nothing at all. Oh yeah, and by the way, Endymion actually has protection from like destruction, so it was basically like my end board, and nobody could beat it. It was awesome. It was great.
No mistake about it, these decisions impact game design. Many games are utilizing battle passes and player engagement as a metric of success. For a player, that means more grindy missions. That means more reminders to stop in the shop. It means a boring grind because keeping players engaged is a key metric. Many of the people who came out to talk about why Baldur's Gate 3 shouldn't be the new standard have since walked back those statements, and I'm glad.
Oh, okay. Okay, so they walked back. Okay, all right. So they realized that they were wrong because they got beaten verbally and destroyed on every single end on the internet. And they were like, okay, guys, you win. We are stupid. Okay, I liked it. That's good. Very good.
Can't take a good hard look at what's going wrong, why fans reacted the way they did to Elden Ring and Baldur's Gate 3, and then make impactful changes? We're screwed. Also, people seem to be using the fact that Larian is a big studio against them, the fact that they had a long development cycle against them. Really? Blizzard is also a huge studio with over 8,500
Yep.
employees across several offices.
Yep.
They credited every employee at Blizzard in the release of Diablo 4. Bungie
Yep.
is a huge studio with over 1,552 employees across several offices. BioWare is a huge studio with over 500 employees.
Just a reminder, is it still here? No. Oh, it's here. No. Okay. That video, Diablo 4 credits, has 40 minutes. And it's just the credits. So it's 40 minutes of credits.
Across several offices. And Larian is also a large studio with over 400 employees across several offices. All of them have established beloved IPs with a ton of lore to pull from. All of them have a lot of money to make video games. And all of them had a long time to make anything they wanted to make. To say Baldur's Gate 3 is successful because it's aligned with Dungeons and Dragons is insanity. You
Yeah.
think 800,000 Steam players?
Oh, you want to use that argument? Okay. Diablo 4 should be successful because it's a Diablo game. There you go. What else? What else was a flop? What else was there? What else was like a recent flop, like a terrible game that was released in poor state? Star Wars. Like these guys are complaining about. Oh no! It's only this game only made this game is only successful because it's sort of kind of attached to D&D. Well, what about you guys who made like a Star Wars game that doesn't work and nobody likes it? It's unplayable. What about that? Are we not gonna talk about that? Fuck! Oh my gosh!
Are playing a game called Baldur's Gate.
Oh yeah! What about a Lord of the Rings game about Gollum that looks like a PS1 game and it's literally unplayable? Can we talk about that? It's $60, by the way.
3 because of Dungeons and Dragons? No. It's clearly gone far beyond that audience. I don't know anything about Dungeons and Dragons. I didn't know this game had anything to do with Dungeons and Dragons.
Dude, I don't like Dungeons and Dragons. Straight up. I hate it. It's like, it's one of the worst role-playing systems, in my opinion. It's boring. It's oh my god, it's so bad. Oh my gosh, it's like, just play GURPS. Just play GURPS. It's so much better. Wasteland uses GURPS. But it's like, but I didn't buy Wasteland because it uses GURPS. I bought Wasteland because it's a good game. Like, oh my gosh, it's fun. I mean, actually, maybe it's not that fun because I haven't finished the game. I mean, the game is fun. It's just that my brain is stupid. Like my brain is like a big depression. I don't know what to say. I'm broken. It's like nobody cares that Baldur's Gate is from D&D or whatever the hell. Like at all. It's just it's like Hogwarts. You think Asmongold cared that Hogwarts was from Harry Potter? I don't think he even knows what Harry Potter is. Like,
and you know why I'm playing it? Because I like good games with a heavy focus on storytelling and bears. But anyway, it wasn't all doom and gloom from the development.
oh boy, here comes my usual spicy take. I can't disagree with one more. With this one more? Whenever a game disrupts the industry that delights players beyond expectations, it absolutely raises the industry and genres to glass of. Oh my god. Oh my god. Can we get a petition to get every single one of those devs fired? Just out of how annoying they are. Just because they're really annoying. Imagine working with these people. They must be like the worst employees like to work with.
Inside. Thank you, Juno Bleeze, formerly of Riot, for jumping in and echoing exactly what I'm saying here. Her quote tweet reads, "I can't disagree with this one more. Whenever a game disrupts the industry and delights players beyond expectations, it absolutely raises industry and genre standards regardless of why and how. We should look at the Larian success story and ask ourselves how..."
Wait, did I misunderstood what you said? I think I did. Hold on. Oh, I'm sorry, but I had a brain fart. I'm so sorry. Oh my gosh, I feel stupid now. I'm retarded. I'm sorry. Please, take this. Take the.
How are we going to make our games better and create the next games that shake up the industry? Players should and must always expect more and...
My friend, your take is not spicy. It's just right.
create the next games that shake up the industry. Players should and must always expect more from us, never less. Thank you. I implore AAA devs to look at these games that are being celebrated and look
Not
at your
just AAA
pipeline to see what...
No, not just AAA devs. Any dev. Everyone should work hard on what they do with this part. It's like, dude, if people are paying you for your job or for a product or whatever it is, it's like you have to understand, what is money? What is money? Money is a certificate of work. So when someone buys you a game, like when someone spends $60 in a game, or 20 or 5 or whatever, that person is spending 60 works. So it's like that person is picking a portion of their work time into buying your game. They are paying with their work. Okay? And if you give them shit, you are disrespecting their work, their money, their hard and sweat money, right? So it's really an injustice to assume that the people should just buy shit and be happy. Like, oh, you're gonna buy shit and you're gonna be happy. It's like, no, I'm not. It's like they're literally saying you are going to eat shit and you're going to like it. Like, no, I'm not going to eat shit. I am not going to like it, and I'm not going to pay for it. That's no.
Why the consumer is getting frustrated about the experience I outlined in this video, and obviously try and make an improvement. Because telling me how hard it is when you're breaking profit and revenue records.
You know what's hard? You know what's hard? Try working as a waiter and you have to get the order of an old man with Alzheimer. And it's not a patient old man. It's an angry old man. You think that's easy? You think that's fun? You think I like it? You know what's not fun? Cleaning bathrooms every day. That's not fun. Yeah.
Isn't a super compelling argument from the customer's perspective. Is Baldur's Gate 3 an outlier? Yes, but I for one wish it could become the standard, and being told to shut up because I don't know game design doesn't feel super constructive. But hey, I'm just some idiot on the internet who doesn't know anything about game design. I guess I'll just go buy my horse armor and call it a day. Enjoy your $20 on top of your $100.
Bro, I am so disappointed that THQ North is a part of this because I am a huge fan of THQ North. Like, I like Spellforce 3. I bought all of its expansion. I play it from time to time. Oh yeah, they made Northgard, right? Did they? Hold on. Oh my god. Come on. Sorry, my computer is like terrible. Oh wait, they didn't make the game, they just produced it. Oh, okay. So Grimoire Games, they're the ones who did the... Trying... It's like, the worst of all is like, I kind of want to boycott those games, but at the same time, I feel like it wouldn't be fair, because it could be one of those situations where it's like, it's just like a vocal minority. It's like just like some devs that are really annoying and really loud and impossible to work with, and in the middle of like this company, THQ North, there is like all of these awesome people who are actually trying hard. I mean, the Spellforce 3, like that for sure. There was people who tried to make a really good game out of this. There was effort put into this game because it looks so good. So I don't think that boycott would necessarily be fair in this situation. But I mean, I kind of want to be honest, because it's just it's so disrespectful. It's like I feel disrespected as a customer, as someone who paid for this shit and this shit. I feel legitimately disrespected. I really do. Oh, and this as well. Oh wait, no, I got this game as a gift. Never mind. Oh my gosh. I feel like I don't know, man. I mean, I guess maybe it's a good thing that Spellforce 3 was a flop. Maybe they deserve it. I didn't wish it was a flop.
And they put their stock in some shittier
But they deserve it.
gaming YouTubers that thrive on anything that's simple to expect this to become the new standard. We literally want this to be. If IGN had read the discussion being had in good faith, they'd have known all of this. Instead, they put their stock in some shittier gaming YouTubers that thrive on anything that stokes discontent towards developers. They even credit these guys in the video description, end quote. By the way, when he said shittier gaming YouTubers, he means people like me. It's nice to see when he said
Reformism.
that shittier gaming YouTubers, he means people like me. It's nice to see what these devs really do think when people actually push back, so thank you for that. See what...
Okay, now it's the part where I don't understand what you're talking about, like at all. YouTube channel, like who is talking shit about you? I mean, IGN was like nothing but, like he took your side on all fronts. Like he never mentioned shittier YouTube channels or anything like that. I don't understand. Hold on.
These guys thrive on takes of people's lives and millions of dollars burned away. More risk equals less risk taking. The industry condition.
Quote: Gary J. King's game developer.
Lowering our expectations is key to this. The AAA industry is increasingly moving towards greater scopes and bigger budgets, ballooning dev times. A single failure can sink a studio, years of people's lives and millions of dollars burned away.
Oh, okay, so he's talking about that guy from the beginning. Wait, no. Was he? I don't know. That guy, okay.
By saying, and I quote, "None of these developers are defending the status quo of AAA here.
None of these developers.
They're contextual. None of these developers are defending the status quo of AAA here."
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. They are defending the status quo.
They're contextualizing the status quo.
No, they're not. Be honest.
Explaining how things came to be this way and why Baldur's Gate 3 is an anomaly in the space.
It is not an anomaly. Okay, you're going to tell me that a fun game is an anomaly? It's like, are you retarded? Are you stupid? That's like saying, oh, delicious food is an anomaly. Food is supposed to be bad. It's supposed to be rotten, spoiled, disgusting, shitty, filthy. You know, it's not supposed to be good, beautiful, delicious aroma. No. It's supposed to be bad. It's supposed to be terrible. Are you crazy? Are you retarded? Are you fucking with me right now?
They're saying that if we want more BG3s, something needs to change. This idea of lowering our expectations is key to this. The AAA industry is increasingly moving towards greater scopes and bigger budgets, ballooning dev times. A single failure can sink a studio.
It should. If the failure is big enough, it should.
Years of people's lives and millions of dollars burned away. More risk
Oh no. Oh no, we're gonna lose money. That's the end of the world, right?
equals less risk taking. The industry conditions that birth Larian and let them hone their craft over several games before.
Dude, I'm sorry. I don't feel bad for you guys. Oh, but we can lose our jobs and we're gonna lose money. Okay, and? Okay, and? I don't feel bad for you. I don't. I don't feel a single ounce of like, oh my god, poor dads. No, I don't. I don't feel bad for you. Shit happens. To everyone. Shit happened to me and nobody felt bad about it. My whole life. You know, like, go fuck yourselves. Hard.
Of dollars burned away. More risk equals less risk taking. The industry conditions that birth Larian and let them hone their craft over several.
This is bullshit. You know, like, oh, taking risks, blah, blah, blah. You can make a good game without taking risks. You know how I know this? Because this is what I'm doing with Per Guy. It's precisely what I'm doing with Per Guy. I'm never taking any risks on game design ever again.
Games before they made Baldur's Gate 3 no longer exist. That's why it's unreasonable to.
Like, this is why the legendary mechanic in Per Guy is literally the same mechanic. I mean, not literally, there's a few differences, but it's very similar to the Xyz mechanic of Yu-Gi-Oh! Because I know that works and it's a really good mechanic. Could I make like a new way to summon a monster from the extra deck? Yes, I could. In fact, I did it for Yu-Gi-Oh! I made some fanfic mechanics. But why? Why would I do it? When I know that, like, I mean, Xyz summon is just, it's better, it's simple, it's easy to understand. I mean, I made some differences because, you know, you gotta, you don't just like steal or copy, you improve on it. But yeah, like, I don't take risks on my game. I just work on what happened. Like, work. I work with things that I know that works, and people have played the game and they like it.
To expect this to become the new standard, we live.
Like, realistically, what risks have Baldur's Gate took? This game is literally Dragon Age Origins 2. Hold on, let me close the Discord. Yeah. I'm sorry for this, guys. But, like, I mean, for real. You cannot tell me that, like, oh, Baldur's Gate is this risky game that is very different from everything we have in the market. No, it's not. It's really not. It's just a game. It's an RPG, like many others. It's Dragon Age 2. the real Dragon Age 2, because the original was pretty terrible.
Literally want the same thing as you. If IGN had read the discussion being had in good faith, they'd have known all of this. Instead, they put their stock in some shittier gaming YouTubers that thrive on anything that stokes discontent to become the new standard. We literally want the same thing as you. If IGN had read the discussion being had in good faith, they'd have known all of this. Instead, they put their stock in some shittier gaming YouTubers that thrive on anything that stokes discontent towards developers. They even
Dude, that's unreal. So when this guy was saying, oh my gosh. So he's attacking YouTubers. Okay, so these guys come in public. They tell us, the customers, to go fuck ourselves, and we are like, dude, that's fucked up. We're not gonna go fuck ourselves. Fuck you. And then they're like, oh my god, can you see that? Can you see that? Look at these shitty YouTubers. Look at these shitty retards. They're so stupid, right? They're so offensive. Ah, cry me a river.
credit these guys.
Cry me a river.
Quote. By
You
the
son
way,
of a-
when he said shittier gaming YouTubers, he means people like me. It's nice to
I feel like I feel like it's not even this guy and Demian in particular. I feel like it's all of us. Because these YouTubers are voicing our opinions about bad games. We don't want bad games. We want good games only. But when we voice our opinions, we're shitty and terrible and horrible. It's like, oh, how dare you to not eat shit and like it? You're so awful. It's like, no, I'm not awful. You are.
see what these devs really do think when people actually push back, so thank you for that. Anyway, Gary starts off, I think, saying the right thing, which is that the way in which Baldur's Gate came to be is...
Dude, I wish I was this guy's this guy's boss. Like this Gary King, I wish I was his boss. Because I would fire him so quickly, and when he asked me why, I would rehire him just so I can fire him again. Oh my gosh, what an annoying prick.
...is an anomaly, and that if people want more games like it, the industry does need to change. He's right that the AAA industry is definitely moving towards larger budgets and ballooning dev time. And it's true that the risk that is big budget games is so great that it's also the reason why the AAA industry can't take as many risks. This is why most AAA games are either...
Again, what risks were took with Baldur's Gate 3? I guess like the only thing that they could say is that like, oh, the risks is that the game doesn't have a battle pass. It doesn't have like $20 skins. Those are the risks, right? Big risks. Holy shit! I don't see this as a risky game. I honestly don't.
either a first-person shooter, an open-world game,
Or rather, I don't see this as any more of a risky game than a game like Destiny 2. Like at all.
or both pretty much. They have to stick to what works and what they believe will ensure enough people will want
Of course, everyone does. Like everyone sticks to what works. Even Vampire Survivors, like a game that was like very different, it still borrowed a lot of ideas from other roguelikes, and some like they actually took like some ideas from loot boxes, because apparently like the guy who made Vampire Survivor was like some kind of gambler or whatever the hell. So like yeah, like everyone, it's like it's not like everyone's just gambling to success. It's actually a very, very tiny minority who are doing that, and they're just getting lucky, and good for them.
It's also why you'll likely never see a visual novel game with the budget of, say, God of War, for obvious reasons. But the part I have a problem with is where Gary says the key is to lower expectations and the variables that lead to a studio like Larian no longer exist.
Again, they're literally saying you will eat shit, you will pay for it, and you will like it. That's literally what they are saying. And it's terrible. It's awful that they're saying that.
I think the meteoric response to Larian and BG3 is because no longer exist.
Isn't that a Yu-Gi-Oh card? I think I saw a Yu-Gi-Oh card just like that.
I think the meteoric response to Larian and BG3 is because, largely speaking, the AAA games industry has been nothing but the lowering of expectations for years now. It's gotten so bad that it's universally expected for full-price games at launch to not work properly or oftentimes not even be in a playable state. Too many games, especially in the AAA space, are storefronts first and video games second, with Diablo and Destiny being prime examples of everything that's wrong with the modern gaming industry right now. I don't think lowering fans' expectations...
It's really strange. Like, they want us to buy a game where, like, the whole purpose is for us to waste money. And maybe, like, as an accident, we might have fun. It's like, if fun is an accident and not an incident, then why would we buy a product that the only thing that it does is it makes money disappear into the void? Why would anyone buy a product like that? It's such a strange way. It's such a strange way to view a game.
would fix anything, since, to be real with you, our expectations honestly can't get any lower than they are right now.
Yeah.
I fully expect the newly announced Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 to be an absolute hellscape of microtransaction nonsense. That'll be full of bundles worth hundreds of dollars from the get-go. And at the same time, I also fully expect the game to run like ass, have glitches, and miss key features that previous games already had. But don't worry, just ignore those and buy that $15 anime girl bundle, consumer, since that's the real reason that game exists anyway. It's also insane that players need to demand even basic features in games as well. Like most recent Battlefield games just launch without a scoreboard, or Diablo fans needing to make new characters just to use them as mules to put all their items into because the devs refuse to increase item capacity. It just proves that the easiest and most welcome of fixes are never prioritized. And the things that make money, like cross-media bundles, are always prioritized instead. It's very telling is what I'm saying. And as of making this video, the Destiny Final Shape Showcase hasn't happened yet. But if I had to guess, all the coolest sets of armor will also be behind paywalls as well. Everything players actually want will only become available to them if they kneel and accept the nickel and diming that is the modern gaming industry. So when your only solution to the growing disparity between your consumer base and your craft is to demand the lowering of expectations...
One thing that I don't like about this whole drama is that it makes Baldur's Gate seems like it makes it seem like it's a game, like, how can I put this, like a better game than it is, sort of. Like it's not that much of a good game. It's just a good game. Like it's a very good game for sure, but it's not like, how can I say? Like, it's not Skyrim. It's very good. Like, I still think Dragon Age is probably better than this game.
I'm sorry, but that's just not possible. It may have been maybe 5 years ago, but these days it's so evidently clear that studios and publishers just don't care about the player experience. That the only way things get better is if we reject the practices that have become the norm today. Players are definitely not frothing at the mouth wanting to see their favorite studios fail and shutter down. It would break my heart to see BioWare or CD Projekt Red eventually close their doors and disband. I don't want to see Bungie, for example, abandon Destiny completely.
I actually do.
Would love to see Activision Blizzard.
At this point, no. I want to see them fail. I want to see them fail so bad. You have no idea.
A long time actually give a shit about the player experience and not ruin franchises like Diablo or Overwatch with their predatory nonsense. I don't want Diablo's community of millions of fans to suffer and have a terrible time playing the game that they love. I personally don't.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. Like I feel bad for the Diablo players, man. Like, they are like. They go hard with Diablo, like they always have, and it's like, to see them like melt down with this terrible like trash game that they got. It's sad. It's sucks.
Wake up thinking I want the gaming industry to burn to the ground, even though people like Gary or IGN probably think I do. What I do want is for the gaming industry to admit that the way it's doing things is not working, and accept that the only way things get better is when they start respecting their customers more. Baldur's Gate 3 is absolutely an...
Dude, respect the money. I mean, no, you know what? No, not even. Not even. It's not about respect the money. Just make a fun game. Like, again, we just want fun game. If game fun, game good. It's like... Every single one of these companies could very easily fix themselves, can fix all of their problems, if they just watch those Sandy Peterson's videos on how to play test a game properly and apply it to their company. If they start taking playtesting seriously and game designing seriously, they would fix all their games immediately. Like they would make good game after good game after good game. Like every single game that they make would be a Baldur's Gate 3. Even better than Baldur's Gate. If they just playtest the game properly. Like, I cannot stress enough. The problem is that simple. The problem is literally that simple. Playtest your fucking game. It's like, seriously, it drives me crazy how because like people have like all of these theories about like, oh, it's BlackRock. Oh no, maybe it's some kind of hidden agenda. It's George Soros. No, it's the Illuminati. The Illuminati wants us to have like bad games so that we get depressed and kill ourselves. No! It's literally that they're just not playtesting the games. I mean, they are, but they're not like... But they're treating their playtests as like shit, and they're not taking them seriously. If they do, then all of a sudden, the games will get good. It's that simple. It is literally that simple.
An anomaly, and it's for all the wrong reasons, if we're being honest. It shouldn't be surprising and this much of an issue of discourse that we're fighting over a game that not only works well at release, but isn't a storefront first. The fact that Baldur's Gate 3 is a video game first that looks to meet player expectations should not be torn down or attacked. It's honestly pathetic and incredibly sad that such a basic fundamental meeting of expectations is considered damaging or problematic in the eyes of so many devs. There was also an article recently from Pushware titled, Larian Studio CEO responds to raise standard concerns, standards die every day. I really think what Larian boss Sven Vink says here is really worth hearing, so he says, and I quote, obviously, yeah, if you're a 50-man studio or 10-man studio, you shouldn't try to make a game like BG3. The problem I have is with the use of the word standards. This is video games. Standards just die every day. Things get reinvented. New things appear all the time. When I was starting out in the industry,
my standard for a good game is a game that makes me have fun. That's the standard. It has always been that standard. Never changed. From Street Fighter 2 when I had 4 years to Street Fighter 6 now that I have 31 years. You know how I can tell that Street Fighter 2 is a good game? Because it's fun. You know how I can tell that Street Fighter 6 is a good game? Because it's fun. You know how I can tell that Street Fighter 5 is a bad game? Because it's not fun. It is that simple. It's that simple. By the way, did you know that playtesters are not allowed anymore to voice their feedback and their opinions of the game because it might offend the devs, like the game designers and the programmers? Yeah. They are literally not allowed to do their job. And this is pretty much on every company. They're protecting their devs over protecting their quality.
Assassin's Creed set a new standard. It was was over. Nobody could make games like Assassin's Creed. There was too much budget behind it. And that was going to be the future. Everybody's had to consolidate, blah, blah, blah. That didn't materialize. In video games, there's so much free space.
Yeah, we'll talk about the devil.
Still in the creative tree. There are so many games that change the standards to the point that there's no standards was my thing. But I think you should always strive to evolve, especially in this medium, which is different than any other media in the sense that technological evolution.
Gamers don't give a damn about standards. Like, you think that people who played Vampire Survivors were holding it to the standards of Final Fantasy 16? No, that game was not yet. Of Dark Souls? Or like... What's a vampire game? Like, do you think that people who played House of Torment was holding it to the standards of like Path of Exile? Like, it's not about standards. It's like, I am going to, like, seriously, gamers don't care about standards. Like, I am pretty sure that gamers' standards are the same as mine. Is the game fun? Yes. Game good. Is game not fun? No. Game bad. I am going to die on this hill. Like, we are not like this, like, guinea pipe smoking, like, intellectuals reading like 20 books a day and like, yes, Baldur's Gate 3 is truly an intricate adventure. It's like, no, we're not that at all. We're just gamers. We just want to have fun. We just want to have a good time. We come back from work. We're tired. We want to have a little bit of fun. That's it. That's all there is to it.
Has always been a big part of it. There's always been innovation, but at the same time, it doesn't require massive technological evolution to do something crazy and cool and different than what anybody else has done before, end quote. What Larian's boss says here is true, that there isn't one single standard, but multiple ones at any given time. And that we're focusing on the wrong things here as well. The fact BG3 has set a new standard for RPGs is true. There's just no denying that. But I would say Elden Ring also set a new standard for open world games. And I think The Witcher 3 has also set their own standard for the quality of quests and story in an RPG.
I feel like standards only apply to the companies who made them. Like, to the franchise. No, not even that. It only applies to their own franchises. Like, Diablo 1 and 2 raised the standards. Like, Diablo 2 raised the standards of a Diablo game. It didn't raise the standards of, like, Path of Exile. Not necessarily. I think Path of Exile raised the standards, or created the standards for Path of Exile 2 to follow on. And when Diablo 3 was not on the same standard as Diablo 2, people were upset because the game wasn't as good as the prequel or the whatever, as its previous IP. So, and the same thing happened with Diablo 4. People were mad because, like, not because, the game is not Baldur's Gate 3. No, people were mad because the game wasn't as good as Diablo 3 or Diablo 2 or Diablo 1. Like, it couldn't attend to the standards that they rose themselves. And if they, like, and like, you know, if Path of Exile is, like, maybe not as good as Diablo 2, that's okay. Because it's not Diablo, it's Path of Exile. It's the same thing with, like, games. Because I think there is, like, is there another game like Elder Scrolls? I don't think there is. No. Well, anyway, you get my point.
Destiny 2, I would argue, has set a standard for how good a first-person shooter game should feel, and games like Final Fantasy XVI have set new standards for cinematics in gaming. We're not saying now that every game in the AAA industry needs to have the storytelling and content quantity of Baldur's Gate, with the shooting mechanics of Destiny and the cinematic feel of Final Fantasy. All players are asking of this industry that has been rotting at its core for years now is to meet them halfway and admit that the way things have been going is not respectful or understanding of the very people whose money, dedication, and time allow it to exist. We're not asking.
Dude, Final Fantasy 16 is so beautiful. Like I am mesmerized by how beautiful this game is. Like, I swear, like I am a Square Enix fanboy, like fanboy, not femboy. I am a fun boy. I don't know. I am a fan of Square Enix. They are so good at what they do.
For every game to be Baldur's Gate 3, we're just asking for you, the developers, studios, and publishers, to stop seeing us as cash cows.
Yes,
Instead,
please.
see us as people who want to have fun, who don't want every freaking
Yes,
buy or
there we go. We are people who want to have fun. He finally said it.
that expects us to pay every day in order to play.
Is that a Phoenix Down?
We just want our time, money, and our dedication to the properties we love, whether it's
Yeah.
Baldur's Gate, Call of Duty, and more, to be respected and not taken advantage of every waking second. This is why.
No, it's okay. Call of Duty can suck because like someone like 4 devs made a Battlefield game that is good. Like they made like a better Battlefield. Like they make the best Battlefield with like voxel graphics. Like they can suck. Like we the indies are gonna like take over. That's okay. That's fine.
This debate has really exposed a lot of these devs and the games that they work on as being the true problem at the heart of this. I love Destiny, but it frustrates me to
I
no
don't.
end to see Bungie becoming more like Activision Blizzard with every release they have for the game. To the point that many would argue that Bungie, when it was still contracted with Activision to make Destiny, was actually better than the post-Activision split Bungie of today. Somehow, Bungie became free to make their own decisions, and that has resulted in their games and quality becoming
What the
worse
hell?
to the post-Activision
What the hell
split
is that?
Bungie of today. Somehow, Bungie became free to make their own decisions, and that has
What is this character design? What the, dude? This is a custom character, right? This is like a character that the player made, right? This is not a character that is in the game, right? This is one of those like wacky creations, like that moment my custom character is in a cutscene, right? Because this looks terrible. This looks like shit.
resulted in their games and quality becoming worse. When
Oh my gosh.
they assured us the opposite would be true. You can't
What the
tell me
hell?
that as a developer, consumer, writer, or whatever, that the
Like we just went from looking at beautiful Final Fantasy 16 cinematics to whatever the fuck this is.
absolute state of modern gaming is not in a miasma of garbage right now. And then getting mad that people are actually excited for once in a long time about a new game is now
Oh my
a problem and
gosh.
shouldn't
This
be
is so
expected.
bad.
How dare any of these devs or executives sit there and be angry that consumers are actually
That cat has wings, dude.
Or executives sit there
Dude, that's cool.
be angry that consumers are actually happy for once in their life, or executives sit there and be angry that
That kind of reminds me of like that card that is in the game.
consumers are actually happy for once in their lives when they buy a game. And it's really telling to me that instead of celebrating and learning from the success of BGG,
The hell?
the modern game industry's
His beak.
response is instead that it's a problem and must be pulled down to their level instead.
Nice.
Brilliant's boss had more to say on standards of gaming as well. Which
Dude,
was
they have
that
long
We
lenses.
really just tried to make our game, so we were surprised when we
Sven Finke, founder and CEO.
saw that there was so much commotion about it. And it's just a weird thing, so it's hard to say that it's a standard. It offers a lot, that's for sure, and it offers what we would like to see in an RPG. So I
Yeah, imagine this, like you make a good game and then you wake up on Twitter on the next day to hear that everyone who you love and care about is angry at you for making a good game. What is wrong with this word?
I hope a lot of people will make games like ours because that's what I and the rest of our team want to play, but there's a lot of other stuff that we want to play. Everybody played Disco Elysium. That
I didn't.
was made by a much smaller team, and it was a great and fantastic game. So that's a standard now, but I'm a big fan of Into the
Is it
Breach.
really?
That's a standard for me. So you've got a whole bunch of standards out there. The only game that exists in the universe for my
Again, I don't think there
is
are.
Minecraft. That's a standard for him. From a player's point of view, I would come to expect that the platform holders at least set the standards because that's how it usually has been in the past. They always say, here's the guiding light, people, this is possible now, so go and do stuff.
Like, if I was like, if there really was all of these standards, I would be holding every single game to the same standard as Skyrim. And I wouldn't like any single game that I play.
With it, that's always been how I looked at platforms, end quote. Sven is right again, since unlike many of these other devs, he's not looking to pull others down or attack them. He fully acknowledges that his team and their game will set a new standard, and he hopes that its existence doesn't damage or ruin the industry, but instead shows others that it's possible to still make great games and take risks. Ultimately, I think what these devs that are against this are doing is that they're taking the wrong lessons away from it.
I feel like standard is the new word for copium. Like, I feel like that's like their cope. They're like, oh no, it's a standard. It's just like, no, you're coping. You're crazy. No, touch grass.
Like I've said in previous videos about this, we don't expect every game to be Baldur's Gate 3
Dude, that was cool.
in terms of size. But what
Is that like the new
we
From
should
Software
expect
game?
Is to receive a fully functioning product if we're also expected to pay a full price for said product. That shouldn't be controversial or sacrilegious to say. I also made a joke on Twitter, or X,
What the
or
hell?
whatever the hell you want to call it these days about this too. This entire situation would be like if you were in a restaurant eating a really good meal, and then out of nowhere, tons of chefs from nearby restaurants rushed your table and started yelling that you shouldn't expect them to meet your expectations. We're not asking you to
Exactly.
meet the next industry standard every time. We just want you to meet our expectations in terms of
I mean, like, seriously, like, has anyone ever like walked into a bar and asked for a hamburger and was mad that the hamburger was not up to Gordon Ramsay 3 Michelin stars standards? Like, no, nobody does that. If someone is mad that the hamburger is bad, it's because the hamburger is legitimately terrible. Which, by the way, I think was it today? No, it was yesterday. Oh my gosh, yesterday I had such a terrible chicken sandwich, dude. So bad.
terms of your product working and being worth the money that we
And it was expensive too. It was like $5.
spend on it. Look, I may be as some of
Just a sandwich, no fries, no beverage. Just a sandwich. And it tasted like shit.
you say a shitty gaming YouTuber, but try to understand that when I make these videos, I'm not looking to attack this industry. I love video games. I love this industry with all my being because I truly believe video games are the ultimate frontier when it comes to entertainment. Nothing
Disagree.
even remotely comes close in terms of enjoyment for me when compared to it. Music,
Disagree.
movies, it doesn't matter. Video games to me outdoes it all. I am just frustrated, like many others, that we're all having to walk on eggshells constantly instead of proper.
I think there is no ultimate frontier of entertainment. I feel like it depends from person to person. For some people it might be movies, for others it might be a book. Like you or like for me it's actually cooking. But yeah, like there isn't really like an ultimate frontier. Like no.
Really talking about and addressing the problems.
Not in
at
my
hand.
opinion.
So if we're willing to have a conversation about the ethics of gaming and player expectations, maybe don't block or censor anyone who disagrees with you in response. Because by acting
That's a
like
cool
as
boss.
a game dev or executive that you are some amazing being standing on Mount Olympus, and we're all just lowly humans who must bow to your greatness, it's just not how this works. Your industry, your livelihood, and your ability to do what you do is determined by us. It's not the other way around. And remember that no matter how high and mighty you might think you are, even gods can be defeated. So try to understand that this is not about attacking the industry, but this is truly at its core about fixing an
Yeah,
industry we
you're
all
right.
love before before it collapses beyond repair. So instead of attacking your fan base, maybe for once, listen and try not to be an asshole. I think that's a good start. But what do I know, right?
Yeah, try not to offend your clients, your customers, for fuck's sake.
Right? After all, I'm just a shitty gaming YouTuber who gets discredited for saying the quiet part out loud. But I think even someone like me has every right to voice concerns too. So I hope this doesn't come across malicious, and I hope people come together to talk instead of hiding in their echo chambers. Because if we don't talk, nothing will change, and that's why this problem exists in the first place. So thank you for watching. Subscribe for more content.
Yep, this video is a big W. This guy is a big W. Like, this is awesome. Damn, I couldn't agree more. This is why I wanted to bring this, this is why I wanted to react to this. There is certainly like an interesting discussion here about like games, right? Which is relevant to Poor Guy because it's a game. Yeah, man, like people are crazy. Damn. Shoot. Like I have nothing to say. This was certainly a journey. Like I honestly feel really insulted by the comments of the devs, like who call the game an anomaly. Like again, like pay attention to the use of the word. Like they could have used like exotic, different, interesting. Like no, they use like anomaly. Like it's a monster. Like it's a mutant. Like it's disgusting and filthy. Like it doesn't belong here. It's such a terrible use of words, and I think it's intentional. It's so strange. It's so bad. Like, and it's just so like it's like I like how like we have like it's like I like how they're putting themselves in a pedestal where it's like you cannot offend the devs, but they can offend us, and it's perfectly fine. Like it's like, oh, we can't offend the devs, but the devs can offend the customer. It's like I feel like this is the point where you start firing your devs, because like it's like you're supposed to fire your devs if they do this, not protect them. And failing to understand this simple logic is your downfall. It is just so delusional and terrible for so many reasons. Like, jeez, it's fucked up. Like this is like the way I'm feeling right now. Like I'm feeling as I'm feeling as Gordon Ramsay when he walks into a shitty into a shitty restaurant in Kitchen's Nightmare, where everything is just run and like everyone is terrible, dirty, and delusional. Like everyone is delusional. Every single spot on the kitchen is just bottom line dirty. The food is terrible. Nobody cares. Like these companies are a nightmare. Like, jeez. Like, I guess that's like a new idea for Gordon Ramsay. He should infiltrate into a game dev company and try to fix their problems. But anyway, thank you for watching thus far. Thank you for watching this piece of crap reaction that I made. I think I'm going to put this guy's videos on the description because it's a big win, and he deserves the likes and the subscribes for this